Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1489 of our daily content grind. Today is a bit of an occasion because we just got the release of the Armada Nemesis Prime Legacy 2025, whatever. How do we want to call this set? There's so many, you have to attach so many things just to specify which version of a character is now. Point being, it's the new Nemesis Prime that we've been getting teased and previewed for months now, and it just kind of came out. It exists now. It's a Pulse exclusive, as we knew it would be. But they just timed it with New York Comic-Con is all. But it does put me in the mind to start talking about Nemesis Prime and his history as an exclusive, because turns out it has been a very, very popular go-to for more companies than just Hasbro and Takara even to release Optimus Prime repaints as Nemesis as a store exclusive. So this one we're going to talk about probably on the news roundup because there are things to discuss, like, you know, the $90 price point for a Voyager and 3 mini-cons. So anyway, let's just begin. We're going to go semi-chronologically. I'm going to sort them by year, but exact release dates are kind of... So we're just going to stick to the year, and we'll start with 2003 with the Target exclusive Nemesis Prime. This is still the definitive for a lot of people for a lot of good reasons. One, it's a super cool looking repaint of Big Convoy. It's incredible looking. Like, absolutely stunning figure. Everyone is staring at that new one going, when? When? I don't even care about the first release. I just want to make sure we get to the good one. But this one is iconic. The ancient, like, fossilized bone yellow color on him is perfect. I think that should be a part of, like, a lot more Nemesis Primes than it is. I think it's the bloody tusks, right? Aside from just the whole deco looks awesome. The bloody tusks. Everyone was just kind of shocked that Hasbro painted blood on a Transformer. Oh, but maybe you could pretend they're just like really hot metal tips or something. Whatever it takes to get it past the soccer moms, right? But super cool paint job. Super cool figure. You know, and we're just all sitting back waiting for the new one now. And that just kind of kicked us off. So let's move on to 2006 with San Diego Comic-Con Alternator Nemesis Prime. This one was infamous because you had to wait so long to get it. They sold all of the extras on Hasbro Toy Shop, not anticipating the rush there would be to claim these few leftover Nemesis Primes they had, and ended up accidentally overselling it badly, to the point where some collectors, like me, were stuck waiting 6 months for them to do the next production run of the toy that happened to go to Australia, where it was a shelf warmer, ironically, in order for us to get the ones we had bought months ago. So it was a fun time to be a collective, hunter back then. Oh, but don't worry, we had second opportunities. For Winter Wonder Festival 2007 in Japan, they also did their own take on Nemesis Prime. And admittedly, this one's not nearly as fun. Like, you took away the red in the windshield, now it just looks like a normal black truck. You know, it's just kind of boring and lame. The alternator design really did not give them much room to put the Nemesis color scheme on the toy, but I think Hasbro, like, look, let me show you it again. I think Hasbro at least did a decent enough job getting a lot more of the teal on there, and the red windshields help, but I don't think this design is suited for making a decent looking Nemesis, but they tried it twice. So at least you have your options there. If you want a realistic pickup truck out of it, you do have an option. Much more interesting. This just kind of began this like trend of San Diego Comic-Con exclusives being like black repaints, you know, between the Menasor for Titanium that came out. I want to say the Skywarp as well. And then, you know, this Nemesis and then this Nemesis. 2008 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. This is the Nemesis I've always taken issue with because it's so far departed from normal Nemesis standards. You know, it's got the teal and the black, but it doesn't have like the teal lines that Nemesis normally does because it's the same exact paint mask as the original Classics Optimus Prime. They just swapped colors around. So you got the same silver striping in the vehicle mode, you've got the same layout of the colors, which is kind of lame, and then you've got blue windshields instead of red. This missed the assignment. This missed the assignment by a long shot. It's a really great mold. I think it would make a good Nemesis because it's a fiercer looking Optimus Prime sculpt. It just doesn't have the colors right, and it's always bothered me. I don't know, personal grievances, right? Moving on to 2010, Japan had the Transformers Museum event, and this is where Takara put out their exclusive version of animated Nemesis Optimus Prime. And now this one, ironically, far more Nemesis than the previous one we looked at, which was more based on, the normal Optimus Prime. Weirdly enough, the head sculpt still kind of works. Like, he does have like a little bit of a mean streak to his design when you actually paint him up like this. And this is one where I believe they are still using the same paint mask as the original version, but it's done in a very different way here. Especially like leaving the shoulder stripes blue, even though it doesn't match in the vehicle mode. It's a nice touch, definitely helps drive the Nemesis aspect of the design. And it does help that he already had spots for head stripes, because that's always a big thing on me for Nemesis, is getting the striping on the helmet. Even if it's not along the horns like it should be, it's still there. Still gives me the vibe. That's the important part. Surprisingly good looking, considering it's designed to be a cartoon character. Surprisingly good looking. We would have to wait a while for our next exclusive, which is again out of Japan. This was for the Cybertron Satellite event, and it's based on the Beast Hunters Optimus Prime, the Voyager class version. So, now, the toy, exceptionally cool in these colors. This is a big brute of an Optimus Prime, and in Nemesis colors, oh, it works. Oh, it works. So, if you remember, Cybertron Satellite was that event where they had a different Prime for different towns in Japan. This was one of the few physical toys you could actually buy that represented that campaign. Or at least, like, I guess gave you a villain for the campaign, because, like, every other thing was an Autobot. Point being, sick Nemesis, right? Really, really cool looking Nemesis Prime. Next year, another event from Takara, the Transformers Expo in 2014, gave us this Nemesis Prime based on the Evasion Mode Optimus from the movies. Now, this one we all know is a really, really good mold, right? I think, like, everyone, even if you didn't like the Age of Extinction toy line or the movie or whatnot, I think we all universally agreed the Evasion Optimus is surprisingly cool. And just an exceptionally well done toy, especially at the Voyager size. Didn't even need leader budget to do something really, really incredible. So, that's how you got the Nemesis in that one. And surprisingly, they did a good job. Like, I like the trim of the blue around the windshields. I like, like the blue gun's a little bit weird. Okay, I'll give you that. The teal blue gun, a little bit odd. Still, it works. It works. It makes for a good Nemesis Prime look. I like this one. 2015. Okay, this one is one of those. So there are a few shared exclusives, things that were available one place, but were also available in a couple others, but they're always exclusive. I'm trying to focus on the original release, rather than like the other ones that trickled out or eventual reissues or anything like that. So that is what brings me to the Bear Brick. Bear Brick Nemesis Prime, the most adorable of evil Optimus Primes. And again, this is just a goofy one. We don't have to hold too much on this. This is a surprisingly intricate Transformer, considering it's just like a big goofy bear brick thing. But it kind of works if you like your like super weird collectibles for Transformers. Definitely counts. Definitely very high up the list. Evil Teddy Bear Optimus Prime. Or Nemesis Prime, rather. Oh my god, it's a funny release. It's a very funny release to me. Okay, 2008 Amazon exclusive Evolution Nemesis Prime, the Power of the Primes version. This, so this brought us a whole lot of new things. So for starters, we add in Giza. We added a brand new mold for a Nemesis Prime that was done in Arms Micron in Japan. Not an exclusive, so not on this list. So, we got Giza as his transforming sword. We got a lot of extra weapons and a new sword that was all done specifically for this release. And then we got a Nemesis Orion, which is crazy to see evil Orion packs. But also something I thought was really good, which was a brand new head tooling for Nemesis. Now, ironically, I'm not huge on the new head. I'm not sure. I think it could have been sculpted a lot better. Especially the eyes. I think the eyes are way too narrow. But I like the idea because standard G1 Optimus Prime heads, I don't think have enough attitude to them in order to actually convey an evil character. So I don't like a lot of G1 Optimus repaints into Nemesis. Just doesn't look right. Just like slapping black and red on him and calling him a Decepticon. But I love the extra layer of effort that went into just doing new head sculpts for both robot modes to try and convey that. I don't think it quite worked in the super mode, but it was a good attempt. But beyond that, just like the jet black color scheme fixed a lot of the visual issues that this toy had, especially in vehicle mode, and all the extra accessories gave you so much more playability on a toy that was already technically incredible. So yeah, this was just making a really good package even better, one of the best toys they did that year. So absolutely awesome figure. Love this set. Love this set. 2018 also saw Flame Toys getting into it. So this is their attack mode Optimus Prime model kit done up in Nemesis colors. And they would follow this in 2019. This one is New York Comic Con. San Diego Comic Con the following year gave us their IDW Nemesis Prime. This was always weird. So they did a shattered glass color scheme for Optimus as well. In their attack mode, and I was waiting because the attack mode looked good in both Nemesis and Shattered Glass color schemes, and I just kept waiting for them to do the opposite so I could have one of each, you know, or to do like the IDW colors, or like I kept waiting to have 3 different Optimus Primes in all 3 color schemes, but I wanted to have IDW Optimus forefront and then some other combination. It never happened to my satisfaction. I think I ended up just selling off the model kits just because, like, I'm sick of waiting. It's a super weird brief tangent about my history of Flame Toys kits. But still, both look good. Both look good. I do think the attack mode actually does work really, really well for a Nemesis. Again, sharper, harder lines, fiercer design, works well for an evil Optimus. Here's a fun one. So this is a repaint of the legendary Optimus Prime, which is evasion mode scaled up to leader class, so it can have some more solid engineering, more solid joints, etc. And just overall be a better, turn a really great toy into just a flat out better toy. Okay, so that's kind of awesome. And they repainted it into Nemesis Prime, and it does look awesome. They even added some of the flame job from the previous movie Optimus, which I do think kind of works here. And, you know, I don't mind this at all. The weird thing is that this was an exclusive to 7net, which when I Google searched, seems to be a VPN company. I don't know if like selling toys was just like a side project of theirs, or if it was some weird promotional giveaway thing. I don't know. I'm just going off what TF Wiki told me. Either way, I am not sure I would even trust a VPN company that with my internet security if they are selling toys on the side to make ends meet. Unlike our sponsor today, NordVPN, where you can go save absolutely nothing because I do not have a sponsor code with them. I just thought I'd make you sweat just a little bit. Excuse me if I'm amusing myself today. Now, moving on to 2020. Okay. Brace yourself for this one. So this is the spoiler pack they did for the Netflix series, Walmart exclusive. This one is chaos. So you have Siege Optimus Prime repainted in the Nemesis colors. And again, the head sculpt I don't think works for a standard Nemesis, but whatever. The rest of the colors look fine. It does look real good in vehicle mode. I actually like that they left the fronts unpainted so the red comes through. I think that actually looks really cool. But look what you're getting. You're getting the Siege cab and robot. You are getting the Earthrise trailer. You are getting the extra weapons from the Evolution version. You're getting that Snake Battlemaster just thrown in so we can have a shield. And then you've got the Energon cubes they stuff in with any of these spoiler packs or any Insecticon release. It's this is a weird Frankenstein of an Optimus Prime, Nemesis Prime, whatever. Everything they had lying around got thrown into this box. Now again, gives you a lot of options, lets you play around quite a bit. Okay, I will give it that. It doesn't seem as cohesive as the Evolution set, but you know what? You had a lot to play with, so like, who am I going to argue with here? I was upset that it's harder to find. Like that Ultra Magnus, like the spoiler box concept was a flop. No one could tell what was in the box, so nobody bought it. Funny enough. So when that happened to the Ultra Magnus, it just made sure retailers didn't have space for the Nemesis when it was ready. Good job. Good job. All right, 2020 Takara Tomy Mall exclusive. They also did the Nemesis thing, but far more subtle, far more subdued than the Hasbro release. So it is just the cab from the Siege version. Obviously, they went with a very different deco, but they also threw in an extra sword. So they did give you more accessory as well. Beyond that, it just looks like a nice alternative. Now, this is where the red on the grille and the front headlights worked really well on the US release. Here they went with this translucent teal on the front, and it looks like he's got like toothpaste boiling up from inside. If toothpaste could boil up from anything. So I'm not as big of a fan of this deco. It's one of the rare times I would say Hasbro actually did a better deco job than Takara. That's few and far between. You know, we did a whole video on how rare that is. Okay, fine. Funko Shop also did a Nemesis Prime Funko Pop as an exclusive to their website. Okay, fine. We don't have to talk about him too long. Here's another one of those shared exclusive things. Nemesis Prime from Kotobu Kia. This one was available a few other places, but it was available first directly through the company themselves. And yeah, it's pretty much what to expect. So they've swapped out the toolkit that she was carrying around to imitate Optimus Prime's trailer, and instead she now has, of course, another sword, because Nemesis Prime does swords. I like that they threw in the mask as well. It can come across as just either it's a Nemesis Prime, like Optimus Prime style faceplate, and just adds to the aesthetic. Or maybe just as like some fancy, like just normal sick mask, even like pre-pandemic, those were kind of common in Japan. So it kind of makes sense, kind of works. So yeah, it's a weird one. Evil anime girl. Corrupted evil anime girl. Transformers Expo 2024, a Takara event, giving us this version of Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. Or this is, no, 2024 Bumblebee movie. This is where the designs start blurring in my head. I believe this is actually the Studio Series Bumblebee, or Rise of the Beast version. Blurring in my head now. Someone in the comments will correct me, and I will be annoyed, because I don't like being corrected. Point being, again, it's Nemesis Prime on a more movie-esque Optimus Prime. Looks good, looks fine. I think this one is a little bit more subdued. This is where I really do need that bone color for them to really have like a really strong color difference. Still looks fine though. I mean, it just kind of works. I can say the same about the Lawson exclusive that came out the same year. This one went for a far darker color scheme, especially in the robot mode. Like, you can basically see the teal basically vanishes in the robot mode on this one. And again, if you look at the US version, I think I prefer that to the Takara version. Like, this one is a little bit brighter in the grays that brings it out against the black. I think it makes the black look better. Here it just kind of all bleeds together. I think it's a little bit too dark. So, difference of opinion. How are the vehicle modes? Okay, yeah, I do also like the striping going up rather than the striping going all the way back. So, yeah, that was the Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. This is the Bumblebee Prime. This is where I'm getting thrown off. They're both Studio Series versions, though. So, that's okay. We clear now? Am I good? Okay, let's move on. Something that you can find right now at your local Targets as of this recording, because I think the street date was last Friday. Yeah, the animated Nemesis Prime based on the brand new animated Optimus Prime mold. This is, again, like, this is a weird way. This is the first time we got the Battle Mask version on this Optimus Prime, which is a weird way to get that head on this Optimus. I was for sure thought they'd do like a Wing Blade set. You know, like the final battle version that would be up to leader class because of all the stuff they crammed into it. But no. We are getting it now. It's a funny one. So it's gone with gunmetal for the colors. So it's a lot darker in tone than a standard Nemesis. And they've gone heavier on the teal in some areas, but that's not the weird part. The weird part is the teal is now also the face color, which is a little bit unexpected for a Nemesis Prime. I mean, animated Prime had a blue face, so it kind of makes sense. But at the same time, it does look a little bit odd. Gonna have to get used to that one. Still, good mold. I still approve of this one. Still approve of this Nemesis. And then to wrap it up, the latest one was a Mattel Creations exclusive. And this one, we just finished pre-orders on because the pre-orders went for like 20 minutes. But yeah, it is a repaint of the Mattel Hot Wheels Transforming Optimus Prime. You can only get it from the Mattel Creations website. It sold out in 20 minutes. Good luck to everyone who got it. I mean, if you only just wanted to experience a tiny little Optimus Prime designed by Mattel rather than Hasbro, this is or was a better way of doing it than, say, like paying the upcharge for like the original version. That's like $200 now. Like the first release is like $200 now. Thank you, bots, for buying that up. Guess they didn't want Nemesis Prime nearly as much. Wow, you had a whole 20 minutes to order it. Generous of you. But that brings us to today, and that brings us to today's pre-order as well. So that's 21 exclusive Nemesis Primes that I could find. Granted, there are probably some that I missed here, little trinket things here and there that were only sold to a few outlets, and I didn't include things like, fan market stuff, like Big Bad exclusives or things like that, because they generally trickle to a few different websites. But it's about as cohesive and collective of a list as I possibly could provide. So that's what I got for you today. Just a weird little history video, just kind of going over just how many of these you had a limited way of getting. Pity the Nemesis collector, because half of the Nemesis Primes out there were sold in exclusive capacity in some way, which will always make it harder for everyone to get. So my respect to you, my Black Optimus collectors out there, and to everyone, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.